Konnichiwa, y'all, and welcome to the Mr. Maple Show. We love talking about Japanese maples every single day. That's 7 days a week here on the Mr. Maple Show. You can join the Maple Mafia simply by subscribing to our YouTube channel today. I'm Matt, that's my brother Tim.
And we're MrMaple.com, that family mail order business that ships directly to your door. So subscribe to our weekly emails on MrMaple.com as well.
Now we're out here at our wholesale farm, Buchholz Nursery in Gaston, Oregon, guys. We're gonna be talking about an introduction that Talon Buchholz named himself here at the farm. It's Acer palmatum Ilarian.
Talon has tons of trees that he goes through. He calls them the rising stars. And sometimes he'll tell his employees to go out and find their favorite rising star. Well, he had a young employee that went out and his name was Ilarian, and he found this chance seedling and brought it back to him. And Talon said, I'm naming that one after you.
He was one of his favorite employees, said he had great work ethic, and he moved on to do big things. Talon's a big fan of the young man, and I'm a big fan of this tree, guys. It is one of the most white and pink variegated Japanese maples you'll ever see. Of that Aridino Nishiki style, it might be the most strikingly white colored of any of those. I definitely recommend some late day shade for Acer palmatum Ilarian. This one's gonna work zones 5 through 9. Definitely recommend shade, definitely in the south. In any of your hotter places, this one's gonna respond and look more exquisite with a little bit more late day sun protection. That's that 2 to 3 p.m. on shade if you can provide it. You don't want to put this one in a heavy southwest sunny exposure. Just not quite rated for that. Typically the more white or pink you have in a tree, a little bit more late day shade serves it best. Now, if you're giving this one some shade, you can get some of the craziest shades of white of any Japanese maple I've ever seen. The first one Talon sent us, we opened that box, the entire plant was just glowing. It looked like you had just like infected the tree with white. It was so crazy how intensely white variegation the whole plant had. It like, we were shocked by the amount of white it had on it. And part of that's because it had been in a heavy shade condition. So this one is very consistent for that. It's another tree that doesn't revert in that Aridino Nishiki style. Lightly pruning it can make it have even more extravagant variegation. It is a showstopper here though. We want to get some of these bigger specimens on camera for you guys.
Yeah, Ilarian, it's just a showstopper when it comes to variegation. If you like variegation and that's what you want in your landscape, Ilarian is an easy one to do that with. I like to take this tree and put it somewhere up close. Put it close to your walkway so you can really see the intricacies on each and every leaf. I mean, every leaf is going to be variegated in a very unique way. And in the springtime, you'll get a little more pinks. Later in the summer, typically more white. And when it's one of the brightest whites on any of the Japanese maples. And again, if you see some green in it, don't worry about it. We have a whole video on how to prune a Japanese maple, Aridino style variegation, to get the best variegation. And to me, of that Aridino Nishiki style family, Ilarian is simply one of the very best in that grouping.
All right, guys, Ilarian is going to work zones 5 through 9. I mentioned that earlier, but I also like to let you know this one's going to be around 6 to 8 foot in 10 years, making it a medium to smaller growing upright Japanese maple. I love this plant for its shape and color. Looks great in a container, but there's a lot of things to love about Acer palmatum Ilarian.
Ilarian makes an excellent container out there in the landscape. I mean, you can take this, put it in a container, and put that pink and white almost anywhere you want as long as you're not putting it in full sun in those hotter zones. The thing I like about this tree is it has a really nice base shape. It's very upward, and every single leaf on this tree is so strikingly pink and white. To me, it is the rock star when it comes to the variegated Japanese maples.
Now there's a great fall color on this one too. Typically it's a bolder red color where you see the white can turn a little bit more pink. So think of trees that contrast well with that. This looks really good next to any red lace leaves because the color contrast is so striking. You can put this out like next to some of your even more basic trees like Emperor One or Red Dragon, and they're really going to show out color contrast wise. You know, pairing this with a large upright red's nice because you can provide a little bit more shade protection from it with something like the Emperor One, but you're going to get great contrast to it as well.
And being contrast, the foliage and everything contrasts so well with itself that this is a photographer's dream when it comes to actually going out and taking photos of, because every single leaf is different and special. A little bit of a pro tip, you know, you can go out and take some photos of the tree, but then you can take a water hose and sprinkle some light droplets all across the tree and take photos again and get completely different photos. That's one thing we often do. We'll turn on a greenhouse, let the water turn on, and when you do that, it just glossens and shines in different ways. And that's what the tree does after rain. I mean, it is a beautiful tree to photograph in any part of the day.
All right, y'all, if Ilarian is sold out now, fret not. It's coming back to Mr. Maple. It's one we offer pretty frequently here on our website. If you see it not in stock, you can always go sign up to get notified via email whenever it's back. Now, our first email is always that 10 at 10 email when things come back in stock. So be checking our 10 at 10s. Those happen every Tuesday and Thursday. There's actually 20 trees, so it's 40 trees a week we're bringing back every single week here on Mr. Maple. And if Ilarian's not up now, it'll be hitting one of those 10 at 10s again real soon. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you even more for subscribing.
Take care
God bless you.
and have a great day.